Hey everyone, hello. Wow, so today's video is a doozy. Yes, it is. I love doing controversial topics, but I thought today we would just do a bizarre one. One that will make you laugh, make you cringe, and maybe make you even rethink medieval life altogether. Pardon me if I giggle through the video, it's just funny to me. But we are going to talk about farting. But not just any farting, oh no, woman farts. Yes, so women farting in the Middle Ages, and how, believe it or not, it was sometimes seen as a sign of purity and even spiritual protection. Yeah, that's right. In a world of knights, castles, and holy relics, a woman's fart could be interpreted as divine. I'm not making this up. So let's unpack this odd little corner of medieval culture, one that tells us a lot about gender, superstition, and etiquette in the Middle Ages. To understand this peculiar belief, we first need to step into the medieval mindset, a world where human body parts was deeply connected to spiritual and cosmic forces. In the Middle Ages, people didn't separate the physical from the spiritual the way that we do today. Health, purity, and holiness were all seen as being intertwined. So bodily functions, from sweat to bleeding to even were often interpreted as a reflection of one's moral or spiritual state. And so even something as mundane as flatulence can be seen through a mystical or moral lens. According to some medieval folk traditions, though often apocryphal, a woman's fart was not just natural, but it was sometimes even considered protective. It was thought that strong bodily emissions, especially by women, could ward off evil spirits and even disease. Why, you ask? I know I did. Because in the medieval worldview, illness was often caused by demonic forces, miasmas, or bad air, as they called it. So, if a woman's body could produce a more powerful or odorous release, some believed it might literally purge evil from her surroundings. Think of it like a spiritual form of fumigation. Yeah. Now, here's where it gets even stranger, as if it's not strange enough. One account, likely apocryphal, even was circulated in various folk retellings, claims that if a young woman's fart was strong enough to make one faint, it was taken as a sign of her purity before marriage. Yeah, you heard that right. A holy stink could make it could mark a virgin bride. Yeah, that's a way to put it. As wild as that sounds, it actually fits within the symbolic logic of the time. Purity wasn't about denial of the body, it was about the proper function of the body according to divine order. If her body was clean, that it expelled impurity with force, some might see that as evidence of internal spiritual cleanliness. Of course, we have to take this with a grain of salt, or perhaps a sniff of skepticism. Much of this is lore and exists on the fringe of recorded etiquette or folklore, but it reflects how obsessed medieval people were with bodily control and morality. Now, let's look on the flip side. Manners. Medieval society was governed by elaborate codes of conduct, especially among the nobility. Textbooks like the Book of the Civilized Man, written around the 13th century, or the Baby's Book from the 15th century, offered guidance on proper behavior at the table and in public. And when it came to bodily functions, control and discretion were everything. One etiquette guide warned that it was a disgrace to pass a silent, smelly fart in the company of others. Yes, silent but deadly was already a thing back then. The sound, strange enough, was less offensive than the odor. Noise could be laughed off or excused as an accident, but the smell lingered and was seen as both physically and morally corrupt. So while the powerful female fart might have spiritual undertones, everyday etiquette still demands restraint, especially from women. Here's where things get interesting on the social level. The Middle Ages were full of contradictions about the female body. Women were often seen as closer to nature, emotional, fertile, and physically expressive. But that same view made them suspect. Women's bodies were thought to be unruly, prone to passions, humors, and smells that needed to be controlled. So even though a powerful fart might be seen as a protective in one context, in another it could be a source of shame or ridicule. For example, in medieval humor, especially a bawdy tavern or songs of Fablio, women who farted were often mocked as and were called unladylike. Meanwhile, monks and priests sometimes described foul smells as symbols of sin, while pleasant ones were signs of holiness. It's a contradiction that runs deep. The same act could be sacred or scandalous, depending on who was watching or smelling. Flatulence wasn't all superstition, though. It also had a place in folk medicine. Medieval healers believed that trapped gas was dangerous, capable of causing illness or imbalance in the human's body. So releasing gas or burping or farting was considered a healthy act. In this sense, women who could release without shame might actually have been seen as more balanced or honest in body. It's a strangely empowering perspective, at least compared to later centuries where female modesty became even more impressive. And let's not forget, medieval humor loved bodily functions. From Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales to anonymous comic poets' poems, farts were a source of laughter, embarrassment, and humanity all at once. And for me, stuttering, apparently. They broke social tension, a little reminder that even the most pious nun or noble lady had a body that everyone, like everyone else. So today, the idea of a holy fart sounds absurd, but like so many medieval beliefs, it reveals deeper truths about how people once viewed the world. To them, the body was not disgusting, it was divine. It smells, it sounds, and fluids all meaning something. Even something as ordinary as passing gas could reflect the invisible battle between purity and corruption, between health and sickness, and between good and evil. It's funny, it's weird, and it's profoundly human. And in a way, that's the beauty of history. It reminds us that no matter how strange the past seems, it's all part of the same human history. So, yeah, the next time someone tries to embarrass you with a little natural release, just tell them that you're channeling your inner medieval mystic. All right, that's it for today's video, everyone. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. All right, everyone, take care. Peace.